So I want to share something which is very prevalent these days. A lot of young expecting mothers come to astrologers and ask these astrologers to give them an auspicious time, a good time when the child should be born. I have seen astrologers give them a particular time. Women have come to me as well. I have also given them a time. And then what happens? These women try and get a C-section done at that particular point in time. Now you just have a choice of like a couple of days, or even if not a couple of days, that particular day you just have a choice of a particular slot. You can't change the transit of planets, but you can just play with the rising sign a bit. That's what you can do. Having said that, I want to say that why focus so much on C-section? What is to be focused on is actually conception, or what ancient Hindu Shastras call as the Garbhadan Muhurt. Now what is the Garbhadan Muhurt? If you read the Mahabharata will give you the first example of Garbhadan Muhurt. What is that example? I will share with you. Rishi Parashar is travelling on the boat, and there is a fisherman's daughter, Matsya Gandha, who is on that boat as well. Rishi Parashar does some calculation, looks at the skies and says, at this point in time, the child conceived at this point in time will be a master, will be a scholar. So at this point in time, a child needs to be conceived. He speaks to the father, takes permission of the father, and it is said that by his powers, by his supernormal powers, he is able to build a wall of mist so that nothing is visible to the world. And Rishi Ved Vyas is born out of this union between Rishi Parashar and Matsya Gandha. Rishi Ved Vyas, who wrote the Mahabharata. Rishi Ved Vyas, the father of Shukdev Muni. Matsya Gandha later marries King Shantanu, and King Shantanu's first child or first son is Bhishma from Mother Ganga. Bhishma is the 8th of the Vasus. And if you recall the story, Matsya Gandha, who is also known as Satyavati, takes a promise from King Shantanu that Bhishma will never be king, and it will be her sons who will have the right to the throne. And she has two sons with Shantanu, King Shantanu, Chitrangada and Vichitravirya. So this is one example. This is the first example that you read in the Shastras of Garbhadan Muhurt. So ladies who are very interested in getting a C-section done must also note one very important point. Delivering a child through C-section does not activate a cluster of nerves, a cluster of subtle nadis, psychic nadis, which are activated through normal delivery, which will help in the healing of the pregnant lady and which will help in providing high quality milk to the newborn child. Second, however much you might try that you will take a muhurt or a time from an astrologer for the C-section, also remember, and I will quote my Jyotish Guru here, he says that in my whole career, and he is 88 years old, he said, in my whole career I might have given many muhurtas for children to be born at a particular time, but only one muhurt given by me, and he still shares the chart of that boy. He is now 25, 26. was the only muhurt that was actually, the woman was actually operated upon at that particular time. In all other cases, either the doctor got delayed, something or the other happened and one could not remain true to the muhurt. So one must always remember that when divinity is prevalent, the divinity itself chooses its own muhurt. The child will be born at that particular time. Of course, we do the purusharth, we do the effort, we make the effort that, well, that should be the time. But depending on so many other factors, the child is born at the time which he is destined to be born at. So no C-section muhurtas, please. It's better to go for a conception muhurt, never on an amavasya, amongst other things. So let me say that it's more important to look at the time of conception than the time of delivery, because the time of conception also defines what the fetus goes through in the 9 months. There are cases where children develop kidney ailments while they are in the mother's womb. There are times when children develop other ailments as well, heart ailments, and you know that they have to be operated upon immediately after birth. So my recommendation, always look at a conception time. The C-section or the delivery muhurt is important, but what is more important is the muhurt of the conception or the time of the conception. Thank you.